Kubrick only made 13 feature films, but among them were Dr. Strangelove, 2001: A Space Odyssey, and A Clockwork Orange. Kubrick also made Barry Lyndon, a stylish epic about a scoundrel's rise and fall. Let's go back in time. It was 1975. Barry Lyndon was about to hit theaters, and its female lead, Marissa Berenson, was on the cover of Time. The magazine called the film Kubrick's grandest gamble. Time said Kubrick was true to form on Barry Lyndon, involving himself in every aspect of the film from conception to marketing. Time also noted that Kubrick was becoming increasingly reclusive. Secrecy abounded on his sets, locations were closed, and not even a publicity still emerged without the director's express approval. An acquaintance of Kubrick said the filmmaker wanted to use his life to create a string of masterpieces. But Kubrick himself was keenly aware of the importance of success. He predicted the costly Barry Lyndon would be a blockbuster. While Barry Lyndon won critical praise, it fared only modestly at the box office. Kubrick's final movie, Eyes Wide Shut, to which stars Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman devoted more than a year of their lives, is scheduled to be released this summer. Back in a moment.
CNN and Time.
This candlelit lighting was very tricky to do, and it was actually one of the earlier things that we did in lighting. We looked at a lot of Renaissance paintings and Barry Lyndon,
the Stanley Kubrick film,
right, which was actually lit by candles. They didn't even have any practical lights on the set. And in this film, you can see that each flame has a slight pulse and flicker to it to really get that candle feel. And the problem was...
Coming up, Farrah and Ryan say goodbye. January 30th, 1985, Farrah gave birth to a baby boy, Redmond James O'Neill, friend Kathy Harrison.
She and Ryan were very much in love, and this boy came along, this baby, and she was just thrilled to no end about having this child. She was just, you know, just all aglow about Redmond.
Friend Jan Alexander.
Life was blazing, and so was his career. Ryan was eager to demonstrate his acting skills in Stanley Kubrick's 18th century costume spectacle, Barry Lyndon. Los Angeles Times movie critic Kevin Thomas.
The turning point in Ryan O'Neill's career was when he was cast in Barry Lyndon. There was the feeling that around town that this would be quite a stretch for him.
Though the film opened to underwhelming response in 1975, O'Neill received favorable reviews.
This was his big chance to show he could be a really serious actor, and I think he succeeded fine, but the picture didn't succeed, and I think he somehow got the blame for it.
Cosmetologist.
Comment ça va?
When I met her at Trois Jean in Midtown, Marisa was simply beautiful in all her over 40 glory.
The best is yet to come, because I personally have never felt better with myself, and I think that women blossom at this point of their lives.
At 16, she moved from Europe to New York, became a top model, then landed parts in the movies Barry Lyndon, Death in Venice, and Cabaret, and she's been a fixture on the social scene ever since. Do you sometimes find that the media gets a false sense of you? I remember Time magazine had you and Truman Capote on the silly people list.
It was harder for me to actually become an actress and be taken seriously. You know, oh, she was a socialite and she was this, and she's dabbling in careers, you know, she doesn't need to work, which was not true. I mean, I was very serious about it, and I was earning my own money and totally independent.
For the best achievement in cinematography, the nominees are
John Orcutt for Barry Lyndon,
Conrad Hall for The Day of the Locust,
James Wong Howe for Funny Lady,
Robert Surtees for The Hindenburg,
Haskell Wexler and Bill Butler for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
The winner is John All cut for Barry Lyndon.
I'd like to thank everybody, especially the members of the Academy, for even thinking about bestowing this honor upon me. I'd like to thank my unit for putting up with me, and Warner Brothers, and least but not last, Stanley Kubrick. Thank you very much.
Milena Canonero for Marie Antoinette.
This is the third Academy Award and 8th nomination for Milena Canonero. She took home her first 2 Oscars for Chariots of Fire and Barry Lyndon.
I want to dedicate this award, first of all, to Mama, then Hugh Hudson and Stanley Kubrick, my great master. Without them, I wouldn't be here. Thank you. Bye-bye.
In the army and some considerable experience of the world had by now dispelled any of those romantic notions regarding love with which Barry commenced life. And he began to have it in mind, as so many gentlemen had done before him, to marry a woman of fortune and condition. And as such things so often happen, these thoughts closely coincided with his setting first sight upon a lady who will henceforth play a considerable part in the drama of his life. The Countess of Lyndon, Viscountess Bullingdon of England, Baroness Castle Lyndon of the Kingdom of Ireland. A woman of vast wealth and great beauty.
Kubrick's boldest project was a period piece set in 18th century Europe, Barry Lyndon. He broke new technical ground, having special lenses manufactured to capture the glow of the candlelit mansions of the aristocracy. Instead of a picaresque tale, Kubrick offered another grim journey of self-destruction, the rise and fall of an opportunist. On the surface, the approach was cool and distant, deceptive. But I found this to be one of the most profoundly emotional films I've ever seen.
Samuel, I'm going outside for a breath of air.
Yes, lady, of course.
Kubrick's style was strangely unsettling. His audacity was to insist on slowness in order to recreate the pace of life and the ritualized behavior of the time. A good example is this seduction scene, which he stretches until it settles into a sort of trance. What has always struck me is the ballet of the emotions in the film. Watch the tension between the camera's movements and the character's body language, orchestrated by the music in this scene.
Both are places for people to come together and share a common experience. And I believe there's a spirituality in films, even if it's not one which can supplant faith. I find that over the years, many films address themselves to the spiritual side of man's nature. From Griffith's film Intolerance, to John Ford's The Grapes of Wrath, to Hitchcock's Vertigo, to Kubrick's 2001, and so many more. It's as if movies answered an ancient quest for the common unconscious. They fulfill a spiritual need that people have to share a common memory.